Hey everybody, it's Mr. Hughes here. I want to come to you with a short little lesson on how I brainstorm for timed writing or not timed writing. I use the same method for both, and it works really well no matter what subject you're writing for. So it could be for English, history, science. It works great for everywhere. So for today, our prompt here is everybody has experiences that shape them as a person. Some can dramatically change how one views the world, themselves, and their beliefs. Write about a moment that has impacted you in a significant manner and explain how it has left an impression on you to this day. One of the first things that I tell my students is that they need to have at least three different events that they can write about when they're doing a personal narrative, which is what this is. You're not going to use all three. You're only going to end up using one, but having that safety net of at least three is really, really helpful, especially if it's timed and you realize I need something to write about in case one starts to fail on you. So for today, I'm going to write about these three options. I'm going to pick one of them eventually at the end. The first one that I'm going to choose is my trip to Hatcher's Island. That is an island that I went camping on with the Boy Scouts. The second one that I'm going to do is learning how to canoe. And I'm shortening these just to make it easier for me. And when I'm brainstorming, my big thing is I just need to be the one to understand it. And as long as I have the context in my head, I'm good to go. My last one I would choose to write about if I needed to would be my learning how to program video games within my high school computer science class. For today's lesson, what I'm going to be focusing on the most is my canoeing choice. So I like to label mine yellow for my number one option. My second choice would probably be learning how to program the video games as my next moment. So I'm going to make that blue. And then my third choice, if all else fails and I realize my first two choices don't really work for me at that moment, I can always go back to my Hatcher's Island choice as a safety pick. Once you've narrowed down your choice, I like to spell out the important details for my reader and myself so I can kind of visualize where the information is going to go. So my first choice that I'm going to put for details that I'm going to talk about in this moment is learning how to paddle and how it taught me to work as a team. If I could type. Um, Teamwork's something that I've kind of always had a part of my life. I've always been a part of like soccer teams, Boy Scouts, teaching. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. So especially with canoeing, if you're not on the same page as your paddle mate, it's not going to go well. So definitely want to talk about how learning how to paddle helped me develop as a leader and as a teammate as well. The second thing that I want to talk about with this is the water gun wars that we had. We had a lot of fun trying to capsize each other's boats, flip them, and then see who could recover the fastest. And it wasn't mean-spirited. We were just trying to see it in like a competitive sense. So what this taught me is like, no matter what happens out on the boat, everybody's going to be there to help you in case you're needed, especially when I couldn't get my boat unflipped. Several of my Boy Scout friends came and helped me out and got me back on floating down the river. So water gun wars definitely is going to be talked about, and the friendship that developed from that. The last one I would probably talk about is the car ride home from the river, where we just shared memories with one another and just described it once again, as if we were like kind of like reliving the moment as well. A lot of fun times just revisiting current trips that we were just finishing up and past trips and looking forward to the future. Now, I do tend to rank these in terms of what is the most important and what I feel the most comfortable sharing and what's vital to the reader. So easily my number one choice is going to be my learning how to paddle category. My second choice is going to be the water gun wars, and I keep the same color coding scheme. And then my final choice, if I have time to fit it in, would be my car ride home. Sometimes in writing, you'll notice that you don't have enough of time to fit everything in. So what I would recommend is putting your weakest choice last. So in that case, if you need it to cut it, you can, and the reader's not going to miss anything super vital. I hope this has helped you kind of get an outline of how to approach an essay topic, specifically personal narratives. The next time we will be focusing more specifically on how to write the actual essay. I'll go through and show you how I approach introductions and then body paragraphs. Have a great time. See ya.